Good morning. Happy Wednesday to you. This is the Splash Live. I'm Ronnie Dahl. Great to have you with us. I hope you have your coffee and you are fueled up because we have a great show ahead. Hey, the Splash Live is Greater West Bloomfield's very own daily TV, radio, and streaming show. Watch live, Civic Center, Comcast Channel 15, AT&T Channel 99, and always on the web at civiccentertv.com. and on Civic Center TV's Facebook app. You can also, did you know this? Listen live as you're out driving around the area. Tune us in to 89.3 Lakes FM. The Splash Live is just part of Civic Center TV's and Lakes FM's 150 minutes of live local programming. Our focus is local, Greater West Bloomfield. The Splash Live at 9:30 a.m. Oakland County's Megacast with Tyler Keefe starts at 10, followed up with the Michigan Megacast at 11. We're here always to bring you the latest and greatest news impacting our little community here in the Greater West Bloomfield area. I want to say thank you so much. I live in the area, so I love being a part of this programming. Hey, so I'm sure you've been seeing the news about the summer COVID surge. It's happening across the country, across Michigan, but also right here in the Greater West Bloomfield area. And they're blaming it on the BA.5 Omicron subvariant. It's pushing up the coronavirus cases and hospitalizations yet again. Here we go. When we thought we were over, the variant now accounts for about 65% of the new cases, and the known cases of the virus in Michigan have risen nearly 34% in the last 3 weeks, from a daily average of 1,780 new cases in the week ending June 21st to 2,383 new daily cases reported in the week ending July 12th. One of the things I want to share with you, this is something that I started at the beginning of the crisis, and I think a lot of people forget about it as we're more than 2 years into this. We can actually track all of the cases right here in your neighborhood and your zip code. So you just need to go to the Oakland County website, which is oakdove.com. And what you can do is put in your zip code, and it will tell you how many new cases have been reported in that zip code. That's a good way for you to track, to see what's happening super, super local. And I know we talked about this way back when the crisis started, but, we're forgetting about it as we move on, and, we want to get back to life as we know it. But the coronavirus, I'm sorry to say, I don't think is going to be leaving us, but that's a great way and a great resource for us to check that out. I know that I looked, by the way, just before I came on air, I'm in the 48320 zip code, and we have 153 new cases. So again, it's just a great way for you to try to figure out what's going on here locally in your own little neighborhood. So mask up, stay safe. I know we thought we were done with this, but we're not just yet. Hey, I don't know if you saw this. Are you an Amazon Prime shopper? So Amazon Prime Day started yesterday. They end today. And for so many online shoppers, which so many of us have become throughout this COVID-19 crisis, it's become so important to us, right? And now that we don't have to hunt down toilet paper or hand wipes or hand sanitizer, we become so accustomed to just shopping online and having it delivered to our front door. And the Amazon Prime Days, always very popular, but here's the downside to that. It's also very popular with the scammers. So the scams are out, and I checked in with the West Bloomfield Police Department. I was hoping to have them on today to talk about it, but they weren't able to. And here's some of their information. They said, don't trust the emails or the text messages about your Amazon Prime account, because these scammers are making it look so real, right? If you if you need to check the status of your account, use your app or go directly to Amazon.com in your browser. Do not Google or search Amazon customer service and support. That's going to be leading you to some of these scammers. Trust me, I fell for that with Facebook. So they gave us some really great tips that the West Bloomfield Police Department is sharing. You can see it there on your screen. Because while Amazon Prime is, happening right now, this is really good information for all times. Make sure you're using legitimate companies. Never accept gift cards as payments. That's a big one. Do not give out your personal information over the phone. Use unique passwords and usernames for each account. One of the easiest ways too, by the way, is they're sending you an email or a text message, and it looks so legitimate. And so you click on it and it takes you to that bogus site. So that's why you don't want to check on it. I know the ones I've received over the last 2 days from Amazon said, hey, there's an issue with your account. Click on this. And because it's like, oh, someone charged like $975 to your account. Click on this to make sure it's verified. So make sure that you're being safe out there, because the sad thing is that when you fall for one of these online scams, so many times you cannot get your money back. Be safe, be aware. For all of us, I have a little bit of bad news on the construction chaos side in our area. Pontiac Lake Road is going to be closed between M59 and Crescent Lake Road. It's technically Waterford Township, but I know so many of us drive that area. So it's going to be starting this Saturday, July 16th. The project is to remove and replace 2 failed culverts. Project is weather dependent, but if the county's highway maintenance crew can start work on the 16th, County Road Commission officials expect to complete the job by the 17th, which is good. Let's just get it done and over with. Because one of the things with that you got to remember is we still have so many other construction projects going on. So the recommended detour for drivers is M59 to Crescent Lake Road, back to Pontiac Lake Road, and vice versa. You got to remember, if you're coming through our area, Sylvan Lake, West Bloomfield, Keiko Harbor, Orchard Lake is still under construction right there at Middle Belt. And that's down to 1 lane. So we have so many of these projects going on, delaying your commute. But I have a little bit of good news to share with you this morning. Pontiac Trail, Haggerty to Green Lake Road. Guess what? It's open. The project is complete almost a full month ahead of schedule. We like to hear that, right? Because that area gets so congested. Hey, what are you doing this weekend? Did you get a new boat? So many people got a new boat through the COVID crisis. They've been out on the waterways, but it's not like driving a car. There's some boating safety involved in that. Anyone who's been out on one of our numerous lakes, Cass Lake, Pontiac, Sylvan Lake, Pontiac Lake, I think it's Pontiac Lake, right? The country club over there. So I think that's, I'm going to check on that. What is the name of that? I pass that every single day. But all of our lakes in our greater area, when you get out and you go boating, are you being safe on the waterways? Our Luke Walters takes a look.
With all the lakes in our area, boating safety is very crucial. Mark Lowry is here to give us some tips on boating safety.
Sure. We are fortunate where we have access to lots of waterways, both with pools and with lakes and rivers. So water safety in general, first of all, we start with swim safety. A couple of rules with that, and the first one's pretty obvious. If you don't know how to swim, please go learn. Kids take to water right away. There's a lot of places around here that offer swim classes and stuff. As an adult, we can learn too. So that's number 1. Number 2, and you've heard it a lot of times, is look before you leap. Looking before you leap becomes important, especially when you're using a natural waterway. We don't know the depth. If you go to a pool, it's written right on the side. You don't know what it's like in a lake or in a river. And rivers have currents where pools generally don't. After that, I would probably say when it comes to swimming, and you've heard it before, please don't swim alone. Make sure that you're swimming with someone. A, it's more fun, and B, if something happens, they can help, because drowning is not a loud thing that causes attention. And if you're a mom and a dad playing with your kids or having your kids in the water, keep an eye on them. Wearing their vest and their water wings and stuff does not keep them from sticking their face in the water. So please keep an eye on your kids. When it comes to boats and swimming, alcohol and water do not mix, especially driving a boat. Boater safety, you'll find yourself in trouble not only with the law, but it's dangerous. So please don't do that.
So I'm not a boater.
Okay.
At all.
Okay.
So for somebody, if you got a rookie that's going out, what's the biggest thing you want them to be aware of while they're out on the water?
Number one, pay attention to where you are and where others are. There, you can go online and get your boater safety course, and you should have one before you're operating any vessel. Jet skiers have a tendency to be pretty active, and they're very quick. They can respond a lot quicker than you and your bigger boat can, so you have to keep your eye out for them. And when you're coming into dock or coming into shore, remember we just talked about swimming and keeping an eye on the people that are swimming. You're doing the same thing, especially when you're docking or coming closer to shore. That's where people are in the water, generally not out in the middle. If they are out in the middle, hopefully they're on a float or something that we can see them. So. Yeah.
Well, what can I have on my boat to keep myself and everybody safe while we're out there?
Whenever you're on a boat, you should have a life vest on. The other thing you should have is a fire extinguisher. Most boater safety checks will make sure that you have a fire extinguisher and a horn so that you can signal in case anything goes wrong. Cool. Being on the water is awesome. Swimming in the water is awesome. It's Michigan and the weather has been great. Go out, enjoy it, but please just do it safely.
And about how often do you come across a boating emergency?
We have the ability to respond to water accidents, and I would say we respond to maybe about 10 a year. And the sad part is a couple of those usually are fatal. So it is not something that we think about very often, especially when we're going out to have a great time, but safety is important.
Mark, real quick, you had mentioned that anybody that has more questions can go online and check out the safety course.
Absolutely. The state of Michigan has a boater safety course that you can do online. You can go online, you can learn all the rules of the water, you can learn what safety requirements are, you can learn what you're supposed to do with a regular boat versus a personal watercraft or jet ski. So that's a great resource when it comes for anybody who has any safety questions and how to operate safely on the waterways.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Such great advice. Someone that's always out on the waterways, and you don't want it to end in a tragedy. Always have your life vest with you as well, even if you're out on a kayak or a paddleboard. Hey, we have a great show ahead. We are going to be speaking next with Spirit of Grace. Did you know that they have a food pantry right here in our little community that is dedicated to people with diabetes, paving the way here. Plus, our good friend Stacie Rene, motivational speaker, will be joining us. And we want to let you know, do you want to be a guest here on our show or any of our shows? Well, we're going to make it easy. That right there is a QR code. Just hold your phone up to it, scan it, and that is going to take you to a calendar on our website so that you are able to come on our show. We'd love to hear from you. We're going to take a quick break here on the Splash Live. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live.
In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important. And now the same is true as we face the flu. Influenza has the potential to infect millions, putting lives and the healthcare system at risk. Fortunately, it's easy to protect yourself. The flu vaccine is safe and effective, and with COVID-19 still spreading, it's essential. To see how you can hit this virus head-on, visit michigan.gov/flu. Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer. Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine. To keep safe and strong. Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
to the Splash Live.
Great to have you back here with us on the Splash Alive. We are so blessed and lucky to live in a community that looks out and takes care of one another. And there is no greater spirit than that at the Spirit of Grace. With us today, Lisa Brownlee. She is with the Diabetic Food Pantry. Thank you so much for being with us.
You're welcome. Glad to be here.
Can I ask you, how did you guys even come up with this? I've heard numerous stories about food pantries, and not once has it been mentioned to try to come up with items specifically for diabetics.
About a year ago, I came up with the idea of putting together a diabetic food pantry for people that are diabetic. A lot of the regular pantries are very limited to for special dietary needs. So people that are diabetic like myself, it's very hard to find foods that we can eat at a regular pantry if we need help with food. So I came up with the idea. I talked to a few people. I got my church involved. We put together a proposal. They accepted it. We had our first pantry day on September 18th in 2021. It was a success, and we will be 1 year old this September. September 17th will be our first anniversary, and we plan on having a celebration that day.
But the amazing thing is you did this in the middle of a pandemic, but I feel like while we're now emerging from the pandemic, we hope, the other big issue right now has to do with inflation. So how are you guys doing on supplies?
Well, we have gotten a few sponsors that are supporting us monthly. We put them on our diabetic pantry flyer that we pass out. We are working with Metro Food Rescue. We are working with Molina Healthcare and Sprouts Food Market that are in Pontiac. They donate monthly to the Diabetic Food Pantry. And then we receive regular donations from people in the community. And we just received a $3,000 grant from the Episcopal Diocese, and we will be receiving the check any day now. And we are going to budget that, and that should cover us about for 10 months, and we will have $300 extra to spend a month on fresh foods and perishables and fruits and veggies and some meats.
You know, Lisa, I think you've started something here.
Well, I hope so. My plan is to grow this pantry. We're the only diabetic food pantry in southeastern Michigan.
So what's been the response from those that need this?
It's been very positive. We're seeing numbers grow slowly. We have new clients that come every month. Everybody's got positive feedback, which is what I like to see. So it's been very amazing. We have our July Pantry Day coming up this Saturday on July 16th from 10 to 12. It's a drive-up, and anybody that's a diabetic can come and get food. We have a choice list that people can fill out, and one of the volunteers will bring out the choice list, and they fill out what they want on available items. Then we take it back into the pantry, and the people back there that are working in the back room will fill up the orders and put it in the bags, and then we bring it out and put it in the cars. So the clients don't have to really do anything, just stay in their cars. It looks like that this Saturday we'll have some extra stuff that we'll put out on a table so they can get out of their cars and select some more items that don't go on the list.
You know, I noticed on your Facebook page, I may be a member of your group because I will say you've been such a blessing. I've dropped off things at the regular food pantry, but I've also picked up things for people that I knew that were in need. And it really is a blessing. And we're so grateful in the community that you are doing this. But with that, what specific do you need for diabetics? Because I noticed on the page you guys are also providing some medical needs, medical equipment, right?
Yeah, we are taking in diabetic supplies because there are a lot of people, uninsured people out there that don't have insurance that need the diabetic supplies. If I get an overflow with that supplies, I take it over to the Mercy Clinic that's related to the St. Joe's Hospital, and I donate it over there because they deal with a lot of people that are diabetic that do not have insurance that can use the supplies. But we do have some stuff that we give out on our pantry Saturdays, and it's amazing how many people need the supplies. And then we are also taking in diabetic socks for foot care, diabetic foot cream, diabetic hand cream, and nail clippers, Band-Aids, toothbrushes, toothpaste, a dental floss, because foot care and dental care is very important when you're diabetic.
It's so great to have you to have this passion to do it. Sometimes we have health issues or we go through a journey because we know it's a need. And I'm sure of all the food pantries I've ever covered, no one has brought this up. So I think you're starting something great. How can people find out more? I know you guys have a Facebook page, but to kind of keep up too, because I like how you post to say, hey, we need these things. So how can we help?
We have the flyers that we pass out monthly, and we keep the flyers up to date, Diabetic Food Pantry flyers. I pass those out when I'm out and about in the community, and then when new clients visit the pantry on our pantry Saturday, and then when we go to events. You can help by maybe putting stuff out on Civic Center TV, like donation. You can go to the church website. They have a food list of what we accept, and you can put out by stuff that people can donate, drop off that we take. We'll take in fresh fruits and vegetables a couple days prior to a pantry day. We don't want that too early because they won't be fresh. But non-perishables can be dropped off anytime. And we do have a food list that people can go by to make it easier on them.
Well, Lisa, thank you so much. And again, it's Spirit of Grace Church. You can find it if you Google it. You guys are located right there behind the CVS, just before Middle Belt on Orchard Lake Road. So thank you so much for being with us. And thank you for what you're doing for our community. I think you've started something great here.
Yeah, good. This Saturday is our Pantry Day, July 16th from 10 to 12. So please come out for that day, and we will have lots of fresh fruits and vegetables and non-perishable items, and it'll be a good time. And we will have a celebration event in September for 1 year anniversary.
Well, we'll come back and bug you for that one. Thank you again, Lisa, for your time.
Okay, goodbye.
You're watching The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's very own daily TV, radio, and streaming show. You can watch the show live on Civic Center, Comcast Channel 15, AT&T Channel 99, and on the web, civiccentertv.com, Civic Center TV's Facebook app, or of course, you can listen live on 89.3 at Lakes FM. We'll take a quick break here on The Splash Live. When we come back, a little motivation on this Wednesday hump day. That's next with our good friend Stacie Rene.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live.
Let's savor these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date.
It's peaceful, it's quiet, and the noise and stress of life can sometimes disappear.
It's the Great Lakes water. And so what people do ends up in our waterways.
It's for our health and safety, it's for our economy, it's for protecting the environment that we all enjoy and we all need to survive.
So clearing storm drains and the areas nearby of trash and leaves helps keep them for rain only.
We're all about one water in this region. We're all connected. We all have a role.
And now, back to the Splash Live.
Welcome back to the Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's very own daily TV, radio, and streaming show. You can always catch us Civic Center, Comcast Channel 15, AT&T Channel 99, and on the web at civiccentertv.com. Or, of course, you can listen if you're out driving around on the radio, 89.3 Lakes FM. It's Wednesday. It's midweek. How are you feeling this week? Are you a little frustrated with some of the people around you? How we use our voice and the tone of our voice can either help us or set us down a wrong path. And here with us this morning to talk so much more, our good friend Stacie Rene, motivational speaker and mindset coach. Great to have you with us. I always need this conversation. How are you, my good friend?
Well, I'm great. Thank you. And the tone in your voice is just really indicates a lot about you, what you're trying to get across. And can you imagine if I came on here? Hi, it's great to meet you today. And I'm really happy to be here. I mean, hello. Listen to that. Right? I mean, your tone is your personality and your tone is you and what do you want to represent?
How do you... I don't want to say fake it, but how do you, if you're not feeling up and peppy, how do you try to fake it so it comes off as more inviting than what you're feeling on the inside?
Right. Sometimes, when they say you fake it till you make it, that really is, it is true. And if you think about it, listen, we all have headaches. We all have really bad days. But if you have to go talk to a boss or coworker, listen, you have to be on your game. If you're not, at least you can't fake it till you make it, then maybe you should remove the meeting from your calendar, postpone it, reschedule it, do something, because what you are is what you represent. And if you have a headache and it's just not going to be a good day for you and you have something important to take care of, then you have to be mindful of yourself because, in the first 7 seconds, people make their opinion about you. I mean, it is just the way it is. And if I'm sitting here and I'm talking to you and I'm trying to sell you something or I'm trying to get something across to you, am I really believable? Absolutely not. But if I am going to tell you that I've got this great product, Ronnie, and let me tell you, there are some really important things that you need to have. I mean, isn't that going to make you kind of want to go up a little bit and be like, what is she going to talk about? It makes you want to get involved. And so it's how you are, and you really have to bring it from within and bring it deep, and then go back to your, oh gosh, I had the worst headache ever. And okay, I made it through, and and then go have your meltdown afterwards. But until then, be on your game at that moment.
But I love that you just did that because that was a perfect example. So how do we take that in the moments that we don't feel like that? Because you just sold me something I don't even want to buy, and you're not even selling anything right now.
Right. And and I've been on your show before when I have been hit with a migraine and I thought, oh Lord, how am I going to make it through this? Everything is truly in your mindset. I mean, there are times when you're like, whew, I just got done being sick. I'm not feeling good. And all of a sudden, I'll give you an example. I was at a department store.
We only have we don't have a lot of time left though, about 30 seconds. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. All right. So we'll skip that story, but really important thing that the tone in your voice, I want you to think about this. This is really important. There are 280 words in a song or lyrics. We can remember that, right? There are 280 words approximately in a page of a book. Why is it that you're going to be able to remember the lyrics to the song because that's melody. So when you talk, you've got a melody in your voice, in your song, in your what you're going to say, and people will remember that versus you having a tone voice, very neutral, and it becomes more memorable when you use tone in your voice. And also just allow yourself to have inflection, be you, and don't talk monotone because people will remember that a lot more. So 280 words in a melody versus 280 words on a dull book. Be your personality, be yourself, and just let yourself shine through. And that'll get you through a great presentation and co-worker.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. And thank you to everyone out there for tuning in. We always appreciate it. You're watching the Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's very own daily TV, radio, and streaming show. Catch us on demand at civiccentertv.com. Happy Wednesday, everyone.